weasel out of anything. Read the next
Scott Crone. Why on earth was Starrcade 87 moved from Georgia to fucking Chicago? And why was the entire show a flop given the talent booked? The entire show was horrible and had such great talent. It's one of those so bad it's good shows, but seriously, what the fuck?
Well, Starrcade 87 was moved from, actually from Greensboro and Georgia. 85 and 86 had been half in Atlanta, Omni, half in Greensboro Coliseum. Originally it was a Greensboro show entirely. But then they did the closed circuit thing, boom, boom, boom. But in Starrcade 87, well, Crockett had just purchased the UWF, and he had snapped up Kansas, I think Florida and Kansas City at that point, and Vince was expanding, and WrestleMania 3 had been on pay-per-view, and point is, they went to Jim Crockett and sold him on the idea that here's Vince McMahon coming from New York City and we're coming from Greensboro. Nobody knows where Greensboro is. Or Atlanta. We need to be in a big major market metropolitan media area. So we were selling out in Chicago, sold out like 9 straight shows at the USC Pavilion. So they moved Starrcade to Chicago because it was going to be on pay-per-view. Well, as everybody knows, and I'm not going to try to answer a question by giving the entire 20 years past history of wrestling, Vince fucked Starrcade 87 by coming up with the Survivor Series and telling people, the cable companies, if you carry the NWA pay-per-view, you can't have WrestleMania. So everybody went back on their fucking promise except for 5 cable companies. So they went from doing 16,000 people in Atlanta and $300 and something thousand the year before, and 20,000 people and $380,000 in Greensboro the year before for the same show the same night. They sold out the Greensboro Coliseum in 86 and closed circuited the building next door. That's how big it was. So they went from a live gate of $600 something thousand and 2 sellouts plus closed circuit audience to a sellout in Chicago of $180,000 and 5 cable companies carrying a pay-per-view. And to be quite honest, our payoff for Starrcade 87 was the same as for Starrcade 86 because we had another scaffold match with the Rock and Roll Express that didn't go nearly as good as with the Road Warriors, not because of the scaffold matches of the shits. It wasn't the Rock and Roll's fault. They had seen it. You shouldn't see another one for quite a while. We saw another one a year later. And the whole thing just fell in a fucking hole. Basically is what the problem was. So Chicago, a great town, but we didn't need to leave Greensboro and Atlanta for Chicago, for the big media market. Didn't work anyway. And that was the start of Vince fucking up the deal. So then that's what led to, against WrestleMania, the first TBS Clash of Champions live. And we took away some people from Vince and had the match where he made Sting the following March. And then the cable companies all got together and said, fuck you guys, you're costing us money. Don't run against each other.